All right, y'all follow me to the vanity. My room is like garbage right now. Let's get y'all set up. Okay. I should put my mic in, but oh, never mind. It's right here. See, I was about to be lazy. Hello, good people. I'm back. I'm back, and I just wanted to do a video right quick because I felt moved to do one, and I just want to give like an update on some things that's been happening in general, but also just like how these last 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, have been crazy eye opening for me. I don't know if it's, if we in some kind of full moon or something. I don't know if what it is, but I've just been feeling this um inner push to like go for the gusto, do more, be honest, be raw, not be afraid to shed dead weight, right? Um, and just to be more of my authentic self. And it's not that I think I've been coming on here being fake or anything, because I haven't. I've just been very careful with my words. I've been trying to err on the side of like caution and trying to be inspirational and all that kind of stuff. And not saying that I'm just about to turn up and be reckless, but I think I gotta push the envelope a little more about what my actual struggles are as I navigate stepping into the life that I really want, the career that I really want, all of that. And the first thing really has been just recognizing that ever since I turned 30, it's like, I think I've said this before, turning 30 is like a whole puberty stage two. It's like going to middle school and realizing that everybody you played with on the playground at recess don't bang with you no more. Everybody's either gotten taller, certain folks have developed faster than others, certain people all of a sudden like certain things that they didn't like before, or they're discovering things. So it's new groups, it's new cliques, it's all this stuff. And what I've found is middle schooler who I've been that middle schooler who's been trying to keep things as comfortable as I could. I've been trying to keep things as comfortable as I can while remaining progressive. And it was my mistake to think that I could be progressive and forward in the things that I wanted and not ruffle some feathers. I mean, I knew I would end up doing that a little bit anyway, but like at this point, it's inevitable. So y'all just gonna chat with me while I do my makeup. And I'm gonna say this: attempt to do my makeup, because I'm not really that good at it, but I've learned little things along the way. I really wanted to look pretty and polished today, so y'all about to watch me do this. And if I'm doing something wrong, just drop it in the comments or send me a message. Don't be a jerk, okay? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna hold this mic. This mic don't be staying on my. We're gonna see if this mic stays here, and if y'all can hear me good, I'm gonna test it out. I'll be right back. Okay, I tested it, and according to the video, hopefully I don't flash y'all a little bit. I shouldn't. They ain't that big. I just wanted to make sure y'all can hear me, so I tested it out. But anyway, like I was saying, these last couple of weeks have been crazy, crazy eye opening. Like, I'm realizing, along with some of my own patterns, like again, I'm an accountability first kind of girl. So I'm I'm going to be honest about where it is I fall short. But what I am finding is sometimes I'm so accountable that I'm not completely real about some of the BS that people be trying to present to me. It's like I know it's BS, but I don't really say that part out loud too much. I always try to say the part that I need to work on out loud first. And while that is noble, while that makes a lot of sense, it gets taken advantage of. Way too much. That's one of the first things that ends today. Okay, it ends today. You turn 30, right? And ooh, hope this spritz ain't too loud. You turn 30, right? And you, like I said, I think I already talked about the middle school kind of thing, right? You literally start to realize that, wow, everybody's different. And then you realize, whoa, I'm different too. Maybe I don't want to play with dolls anymore. You know, maybe I don't like that show anymore, or maybe I don't like that, like wearing that color anymore. I think that's good. Okay, that's all the adjustment I'm gonna do, I swear. And so, dang, I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, so you just start realizing some stuff, right? And it's painful because it's like, dang, I really like these. You know, I made friends off of these particular interests at one time, or I used to date off of this particular interest at one time, right? It's that type of thing, and it'll have you just like, oh shoot, you know, I don't want this anymore. But how do I express that without causing a problem? How do I call out the fact that some people's behavior isn't it for me? Or how do I call out that low key now I recognize that that behavior was never it? It was literally never it. How do I do that? Because again, good old accountability jazz. At one point I made it acceptable. I made it okay. I laughed at the jokes. You know what I'm saying? I laughed at all the stuff. Well, my robe came open. I don't think y'all can see nothing though, so I ain't about to fix it. I'm not gonna fix it but so much anyway, because it keep coming open anyway. It's turning 30. I'm gonna break this down into 3 parts. 3 uncomfortable, and as you could tell, again, I just felt moved to make a video, so we're gonna figure out what the title is. I'm gonna figure out what the title is after I watch this over. But at this point, I feel moved to really talk about the 3 uncomfortable areas of change in my life, the 3 groups of folks that have really changed in my life since turning 30, that I have continuously taken accountability. I have continuously fought to make it different. All of that. Let me tie my hair up right quick so this can hopefully lay a little bit. All right, don't y'all laugh at my little Aunt Jemima scarf. I gotta keep it laid and stuff while I'm about to work on my makeup. But anyway, so the first group I'm gonna attack, if you will, because it's the easiest, it's the most straightforward, and I feel like I already attacked it, but I'm gonna just say it again, just for emphasis, and for those who might just be coming across my videos for the first time. The first group of folks that I realized, okay, since I've turned 30, it's certain things I can't tolerate anymore. I'm not finna deal with, don't work for me. We're just on different pages. And that's family. And I feel like a lot of us go through that, right? A lot of us go through the whole thing of like, oh, you know, those jokes really aren't that funny to me. Oh, yeah, I don't really want to go to family dinner because it's boring. Like, or I don't really want to go to that event because it's actually kind of sad to see you all and feel like nobody's life is really changing or effective. I should have took my stuff out before I started this video. Or nobody has any different mindsets or anything to truly contribute. Nobody's being progressive. Oh, I got charcoal mask. That's crazy. I'm gonna use one of these tonight. Again, it's one of those things where it brings you down. And then if you're like me, who, you know, being raised in a family that's like fear-based, like a fear-mongering kind of family, everything is, well, what would the Lord say about it? You be like, bruh, I just want to get a degree, or I just want to travel to this place, or I just want to try this new spot, or I want to visit this place. It's just like, why are you Why are you bringing the Lord in this? You know the Lord gave us free will, right? You know the Lord said that he gave us the earth and he gave us dominion, right? He put us in the earth, excuse me, to take dominion of it and to subdue it. Like, it's all in Genesis. Like, he wanted us to come here and be great. He wanted us to come here and be free and do things and be creative and all that kind of stuff. But with the family I was raised in, I don't know if they ever read that chapter. I don't know if they ever read that chapter. I don't know if they even bothered trying to learn. By the way, this is color corrector. They say put this on the dark spots first and let it sit. Okay. But yeah, like, I don't think my family ever read that part of the Bible. I don't think they care to either, because if I bring it up, they'll look at me crazy. Or they'll bring up some random scripture that has some totally different meaning or some other context to justify the fact that they are, again, fear mongering. I don't tolerate fear mongering. I don't even let my kids hear stuff like that. I come from a family that will literally watch the news on a 24-hour news cycle. Now, mind you, the news is good stuff. It has good information. You should definitely keep up with some current events to some degree. But watching it on a basis to where nothing else can interrupt that except the stories is unhealthy. It's literally unhealthy. Like, it'll poison your mind. It'll increase that fear. Like, now you don't want to do nothing now. It's like, well, I'm not sure about that. You see how this administration this, and did you see what happened in Tijuana? It's like, well, were you going to Tijuana tomorrow? And it's that type of stuff that really messed me up growing up, because it was like I wanted to try and do so much, but I swear to you, I couldn't bring myself to do it half the time, because, again, I always had to deal with those kind of conversations, which usually meant, as a child or a teenager, if I needed their permission, them starting that fear mongering stuff was their quiet and subtle way of working up to the answer, which was no. Then when I got old enough where I low-key didn't need their permission, they would ramp up the fear mongering, so that way I would end up just saying no, forget it, because now I'm not even going to enjoy it, because all I have is your dark thoughts in my mind. Sometimes they try to inch that stuff around my children, and I always remind my kids that, no, you can do whatever it is you want to do. Of course, within reason. But you get what I'm saying. Like, don't be afraid. If this is what you want to try, if this is what you want to be, you have me to support you and be behind you every step of the way. If you want to go to college in another state, baby, you go to college in another state. I will visit you. I will come see you. It's nothing for me to get a plane ticket. Even on my brokest days, I can get a plane ticket. Okay? Like, but for them, it's like, oh Lord, she can't want to do that. What if she go out there and you know how they doing this out there, and it's flooding in California, and all of it is burnt up out there. You know how big the state of California is. So with that, I've had to learn to back off. I only share the news with them that I want to share, because I'm not interested in having that negative energy or conversation about things that I know God put on my heart to do, or that I know God simply would allow me to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, my relationship with God is such that if anything is going to bring me harm, or if anything is going to truly take me off course of my purpose, I trust and believe that He won't even let me do it. Case in point, I was going to the doctor. I had a doctor's appointment that I set up. And every day up until that point, it seemed like something was kind of getting in the way of me possibly not being able to go. Like, things would pop up or meetings would come up, and I was like, God dang, I'm gonna have to reschedule my doctor's appointment. And it was just like this nagging feeling of like it just being impossible for me to get there. I get in the car. Kid you not, get in the car, I take my kids to school. I'm like, all right, I'm about to go to my doctor's appointment. And at the time, my doctor changed to a new location, so I needed my GPS to get there. So I get on the road, I start the GPS to go. GPS starts acting funny, but it straightened itself out. I get on the road, traffic is backed up. backed up. So then I try to see on the GPS, like, is it an accident? Is it this? Is it that? Long story short, I call myself making a U-turn because I'm like, oh, the GPS is going to reroute me. That thing, my screen went black. And I was already about to be late anyway. I ain't go. Now, a lot of us could say that's a coincidence, and who knows, maybe it was. But my point is, I serve a God that I believe is intentional. Hallelujah. I serve a God that I believe is intentional. And so with that being said, if I ain't supposed to be there, I won't be there. If God showed me that I'm supposed to accomplish something, then guess what? He has to keep me alive to do it. You know, anything short of me just being reckless and ridiculous, he's going to keep me. You understand? So I've always struggled with that because I didn't learn that growing up. That's something I had to find out for myself. So now that I'm an adult, my interactions with my family is very limited. And that doesn't mean I don't love them, but I understand that that energy is part of the reason why I took a lot of the turns I did or didn't make any turns at all and ended up exactly where I am. Second group is friendships. Now, my friends, they might see this video, they might not, because from my understanding, they really don't be liking my content and stuff anyway. And I highly doubt they've subscribed to my channel. So I'm gonna give you a little background about me. So I've lived in the DMV pretty much all my life. And for those who don't know what the DMV is, that is DC, Maryland, and Virginia. The V is silent. I'm sorry, but it is. And so in that, I have pretty much had the same circle of friends for years. When I was in elementary school, I know a lot of people still from elementary school, is what I'm saying. I know a lot of people from middle school and high school and so on and so forth. I still see them sometimes at the store. I see their parents at the store, stuff like that. Because I've been here. So with that, a lot of times, many of my friendships have lasted as long as they have because of time. And that's it. If I could just keep it all the way real, a lot of my friendships have lasted as long as they have because of time. I have unfortunately put up with a lot of things that I don't appreciate or I just simply don't like. And that in turn has low key or high key, depending on how you look at it, made me a bad friend too. And so over the course of these last few weeks, I've really been evaluating like what my true support system and circle looks like. And I reconnected with an old friend from middle school who I considered my absolute best friend back in the day because we genuinely had a lot in common. We were both in the same like class as far as educational levels. We spent a lot of time together, so on and so forth. But when we left middle school, we ended up getting placed in different spots, so we didn't have the same classes anymore. So we just kind of lost contact. And so she made her new friends. I attempted to make mine, right? And so I made a couple other friends, which again, which was sort of happenstance. And at the time it worked, right? At the time it was cool because, hey, we're high schoolers, we're vibing. All we really care about is getting through classes, you know, feeling like we can get niggas and just having fun, right? We're talking trash about our parents, our home lives, typical teenage stuff. But then of course you grow up. You grow up and you go your separate ways, right? You go to college, you know, or you have children, you get married, whatever, whoever did what first, right? Most of us went to college. Okay. Y'all give me a second. I need to do my eyebrows and I can't do that while y'all looking. I think my eyebrows are a little crooked, but that's okay. Okay, so fun fact about my eyebrows. When I had my children, when I had my son in particular, one of the side effects of giving birth to him was I lost like eyebrow hair. Like I would legit rub and then the eyebrow hair would just fall out. craziest thing. And like when I had my daughter, it is gone. Like, and they both came back, but they never came back in the fullness. The troubles of being a woman. So again, history. History has made me put up with a lot of things I don't like. And all I can do, for real, is blame myself. Now, whatever my reasons are for not speaking up and all that are the reasons, but I did it, right? And so what I have found since getting older, since having children, is that my friends, bless their heart, they don't really bang with me like that. They don't really like me. And since reconnecting with that middle school friend, I came to realize that in the craziest way. Like a lot of the things I was experiencing with my friends, I shared with her, and I was just like, because I'm just at this place where nothing feels like it's quite in the place that I wanted to be in. I'm in this place where it feels like my support system is non-existent, and I'm trying to understand why. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but like, what is wrong with me to where when I sit at the table with these people, or when I go places with these people, or when I'm on the phone with these people, it's like I can share a few laughs, but I can't really relate. You know, I can share a few laughs, but at the same time, I feel irritated. What is that? And I shared with her a couple of incidents. But it's two in particular I'm gonna talk about today. And like I said, if my friends see it, again, I ain't coming for you, but it's obvious that there's just a disconnect. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we hit a wall. Sometimes we hit a wall with stuff, right? So it was Mother's Day. We all went out. We sitting at the table. We're talking. It's like a little round table. Everybody giving they updates and stuff, which is cool. But when it got to me, and this is something that other people might not mind, but this is one of my biggest pet peeves, and it like literally will piss me off. If you ask me a question, if you start a conversation with me, you ask me what's going on, and I start talking, and then you immediately direct your attention somewhere else and start talking to somebody. So I was asked, "Oh, what you got to tell us? What's the updates?" Because you know we have a group chat, and I'm like, "Yeah, I got stuff to tell y'all," because I had like a really wild week that week, and I was like, "I got to tell somebody this crazy stuff, right?" And who better to tell than your friends, right? So I'm telling them, and it's like, as soon as I started speaking, they started having a little side conversation. I don't know if they saw the menu, whatever they was talking about, but it was just like, why would you start a conversation with me? And so I stopped talking. If you do that to me, I will immediately stop talking because I believe in giving people my undivided attention. So I expect the same thing, especially if I got their attention in the first place. So then as I stopped, then it was like, oh, I'm listening. Just to do it again. It's little stuff like that that let me know how much you actually respect me. And it irritated me. It irritated me so bad. But I just didn't feel the need to really say anything because honestly, this is the flip side. As much as they do things or say things that irritate me, the reason why I don't say anything is because I don't care enough to even try to further the friendship as much as I would like to in my heart, if that makes sense. It's like my heart and my brain are on two different pages. My heart says, these are my girls, I want to do this, I want to love on them, I want to, and my brain is like, but why? What do you get out of this to where it would make sense to further it? Why correct it when you really shouldn't even be at this table? When there's other things you want to do that they don't value. They don't value your content. They really don't value your way of life. There's no true connection and vibe. Everything feels like a push and pull kind of thing. What the hell do you want from them? And when I told my friend though, my middle school friend that I caught up with about the incident, she was like, "Oh," she was like, "Oh yeah, they don't like you." And I had another friend, a guy friend who I adore, love you. We talked, and he was like, "I'm gonna keep it real with you, Jazz. They don't like you." I was like, "What?" And I'm gonna say this: whether they like me or not is probably up for interpretation, and I would much rather it come out of their own mouths just to say it for sure, right? But I will say this: they don't enjoy me. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not like, "Oh my god, I can't wait to see Jazz again." "Oh my god, let's go see Jazz. Let's see what Jazz is up to. Let's see if she wants to come with us. Let's see." And that's not putting them down, but it's like we really both on the same stuff. Like I said, I'm an accountability girl, so I ain't about to sit here and talk trash about nobody without being accountable for what it is I be doing too. A lot of times it's just the fact that, oh dang, a lot of time has passed. You know, one thing about them that I struggle with too is I realize like, yo, it's some things that I have a different feeling and reaction and approach to in life. My children, dating, all of that. And they be on a whole different page than me, which is fine. But that's also another sign that maybe this friendship has hit a wall. We've reached a point where if we see each other in the street, obviously we would speak. But maybe we've reached a point where no, we're probably not about to be hanging out at each other's house. Because they also know me. They also know that I have a lot of pet peeves about like space, cleanliness, restaurant choices, the kind of energy. I just have a different vibe with that. And a lot of times I be settling with some of the stuff that they might want to do. If I could just keep it real, I do. We're clearly on different pages. When I do content and when I create things and I make people laugh and all that kind of stuff, I get more feedback from people who barely know me. I have so many of y'all from out of state that be messaging me on Instagram. We've been talking for 6 months, a year, 2 years, some of us, and y'all be right there every step of the way, encouraging me, sharing your story with me. I'm sharing my story with you. Like big props. You know what I'm saying? But my friends, it's like I would have to literally beg for a like. You know what I'm saying? Beg for a repost, beg for a reshare. We're not that good of friends. We just aren't. You don't support what it is I'm doing. And that's okay, right? Nobody put nobody down. But again, we gotta be honest when stuff ain't working no more. And it's time for me to get a different circle. It just is. You get to the place where it's like y'all all live within 10 minutes of each other. But seeing each other, conversing and stuff is kind of more of a chore than it's worth. Then that's just what it is. That's just what it is. And this last incident where I'm sure y'all heard about the T app. So I was on the T app before the T app really like became a main topic on TikTok, right? And this turning out good. I just want to say that. And I was on the T app before it took off, right? And so when it did take off, I started getting all these alerts on the T app. And to be honest, I can't even tell you why I joined the doggone T app in the first place a few months back. It was like one of the random things that I did sitting on my couch. So I'm on the T app. And I see a guy that I used to date when I was a teenager, right? And I really liked him. Liked him. We vibed and everything. He was a vibe. Our time together was a vibe. He had me sprung. I ain't gonna lie. The only reason why we didn't like make it or whatever, it was never no bad blood. Nothing crazy happened. We just we lived two different lives and we kind of went our separate ways. I got deeper into college. He was doing whatever he was doing. So naturally conversation just kind of faded. Even to this day, sometimes he'll send me a message out the blue. Hey, I thought about you. How you doing? Good. Glad everything's well. Going about our business. Right. We have not really fully interacted in a number of years. Okay. But when I saw him on the T app, I was like, yo, these girls were saying that he be abusing women, like he slammed a girl head in the wall, like he be fighting them and cussing them out, leaving them high and dry. I was like, not mine, not my boo. Like I ain't gonna lie, I was like flabbergasted. I was low key hurt because I was just like, what? Like I really okay. I was like, I really, really liked him. He was such a sweetheart, such a gentleman, blah, blah, blah. So, of course, naturally, you go to your friends, right? You go to your friends and you tell them about it because you're just like, oh my God. Like, who did he become after so many years? Now, mind you, it's been 13, 14 years. So it's like, lots can change, right? I was just so shocked. So I'm sharing this because I'm like genuinely shocked. We're in a group chat. Nobody says anything about that. Like, I literally give a voice note because I'm just like, oh my God. But then I get back on the T app, I get another alert, and I see that one of their baby fathers is on there. I say, oh wow, so-and-so is on there, and this is what things people are saying. And this is what I contributed to the conversation. Well, why you ain't tell me that first? Because I didn't notice that part first. That's one. Two, I didn't like that. And it could have been a joke, could have not been. But one thing about jokes is there's truth in it and how people handle you, even when they make little jokes and stuff. It's truth in it. They can say what they want, but it's truth in it. You didn't value what I had to say. And not feeling valued is very much so a thing for me. And I'm not going to sit here and make a huge deal out of it because, to be honest, I got to the place where, as I've reflected over the last couple weeks, it's like these friendships are actually draining me because I don't agree with like a good 75% of their lifestyles. I don't agree with a good 75 to 80% of their decisions. Now, I'm the type of person who doesn't judge folks, and I'm an open book, and I listen to people. So it'll sometimes look like I agree, or sometimes look like I'm just for it, and that's not true. But I do believe in people having the space to be whoever they feel like they need to be. And I always thought that made me a good friend, right? But maybe it made me a fake friend to actually act like I like the stuff that you are doing, or that it's not that bad, when to me it's horrific. Again, I'm an accountability girl, so as much as I'll talk about the next person, I'm always bring it back home. I been knew I was over a lot of this stuff. Been knew it. I been knew that it just wasn't working. And every time I've told like someone else about it, not that I told a lot of people, but like literally two, honestly. I told I told three people about it. Three people I consider close friends. And it's funny because there's more distance, but like we talk about other things. And I told them about it. And they were just like, yeah, no. It's not friendship. You not feeling included, you feeling disrespected, you feeling disregarded is not friendship. You sitting in a room and feeling like, yeah, it's not worth bringing that up. Or nah, not even gonna say nothing about that. Or like low key judging a lot of the things ain't friendship on your part either. So it's time to make some choices, right? It's time to make some choices. And so I've been definitely like fading to black and figuring out how to properly line that up. Honestly, I don't even think it's really worth like truly discussing because I don't hate anyone. Like, it's not like a beef thing. It's not like, oh yeah, it is blah blah beep beep. No, never that deep. But it is one of those things where it's like, okay, time's up. It's been time for me to make decisions to be like, yeah, that's enough of that. But it's hard. It's hard when you got time. Oh, I hope this video ain't too long. I think my makeup turned out really good. Number three, group number three. And I say group. But the people I date, the people I have dated, because right now I'm not dating anybody. One of the main reasons I am very single as of today, who knows, maybe 6 months from now, a year from now, it might be different. One of the reasons I am very single as of today is because a lot of men like me because it makes sense to like me. You're like, what does that mean, Jazz? A lot of men like me because it's like, oh, she's pretty, she's well spoken, she has her own things, right? She's taking care of herself well. Her children are well behaved. Wow, she has a good job. She's reasonable. She's funny. You know, when she wants to be, she can have in-depth conversations. She can do all these things, right? Multi-talented, super considerate. Yes, I'm going to pop my ish right now because I know. And for the few that have been able to cross the other side with me, it'd be a vibe, right? So on paper, it's like this should work. But then when they get with me and they realize, oh, she's all these things, dang, what do I do with that? Because that's when they're boring. They don't want to go anywhere. They don't want to do anything. All of a sudden, the things that attracted them to me are things that low key irritate them. They're constantly finding things to like attempt to humble me. And I might even do a video one day on like some of the most unhinged things that have been said to me or done that immediately let me know that I was not liked. It's one thing, and he later apologized when I brought it up, but it's one of those things. I'm really a believer of out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. I'm one of them people. So when you tell me, oh, I ain't mean, no, you did. You may not have meant for it to come out like that. You may not have ever meant for it to be revealed, but you meant it, right? Because it wasn't just sitting in there arbitrarily. Okay. I had a guy tell me because I was asking for more quality time. Okay. It seemed like we were only talking a few times a week. Dates seem to be coming more and more sparingly. And it's like, it's already been established that you want me to only see you. Cool. I'm all for that because I don't like a lot of extra anyway. I like keeping my life simple. And I did like this person, right? I'm expressing this, not a nasty way, not a where you been at, you owe me, I deserve, princess. I ain't do none of that when I brought this up. I was just like, yo, this is becoming a little challenging. Like, this is what I need from you. But it feels like you're making me work a little hard. You know, I even tried to make it so it was like more of a chill into the discussion. I ain't rush it, nothing. I was just like, I feel like you're making me work a little hard. This man with his whole chest said, that's because you're used to niggas being up your ass. Excuse the language, but I felt like I had to say it so y'all could get the effect. And I was like, all I could do was laugh. I was pissed, but then later I laughed. And then eventually I brought it up. And of course, it's one of those things of, oh, that's just my sense of humor, my sarcasm. I don't even remember, blah, 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 blah. But again, things don't sit inside of you randomly or arbitrarily. Like, it's just, you really felt that. And so now it's on me to fade to black. Like, I have to stop. My friend from middle school, shout out to her. I love you, girl. You don't know. I meant it when I said that I wanted you to just imagine me being in your presence and laying my head on your bosom. I meant that because when you told me that it's not that I lack boundaries or that I don't know how to put boundaries in place, it's the fact that my environment is so toxic. There's no positivity for me to glean from. Like, your family's not really that supportive. Your friends ain't that supportive. You haven't met a man who's just like, I adore you and I want to invest in you. You're constantly in spaces that do not lift you up. How you gonna be positive? Where's the place for the boundary? You don't have anywhere to go. You can't breathe. And it made me think about the idea of being in a literal dump. If you lived in a dump and you started trying to organize things in the dump, like you might put the plastics over here, you might put the food waste over here, you might put the big furniture over there, and you might start to get a little organization and functionality in it. But the reality is, it's still a dump. It still stinks. It still smells in here. So is it the food waste fault? Is it the dirty, broken up furniture? Is it the plastics pile? No, it's you because you in that damn dump. You in the wrong place. And I'm just not about to tolerate being in a dump anymore. So if it's not a vibe, I'm not going to act like it is. If it's not supporting me and where I'm trying to go, I'm not about to act like it is. If it's literally a waste of my time, if I don't feel like doing it, then that's just what it is. It's only been one area in my life that I've been able to put solid boundaries on. Minus the fact that they have another party, and that's my kids. So, like, I have to compromise to some levels with certain things when it comes to their father. Obviously, not accounting like safety or anything. But when it comes to anybody else, I don't play when it comes to my kids. If I say they're not going, they're not going. If I feel like your kids act too grown or doing things that I don't want my kids doing, they're not going. If I feel like your environment is not suitable for my children, just because I show up to it don't mean I'm gonna bring my kids to it. And of course, that can be misleading, so I'm about to start changing that too. But I think a lot of people think because I show up to certain spots that I would bring my kids. No, it's because I wasn't raised right. That's why I'm here. I'm here because I wasn't raised right, but my kids are being raised right, so they're not here. Lots of changes are coming. That's what this video really is about. It's about changes I'm making, especially in those with those three groups as far as people. Because I got goals. I got dreams. I got things I'm about to do with my career and everything that's just like slowly coming together, and I can't be distracted. I cannot be distracted. I will not be distracted. Now that doesn't mean I'm just on a cutoff train as far as don't speak to me, don't. Clearly I'm gonna say hello. I'm gonna, if the time calls for it, but all that over investing into people who clearly are not invested in me, who don't really mean me any good or value. We're done with that. Because we're a grown woman now. We're grown. That's it. That's all. That's the update. If you watched to this point, you definitely should like, share, and subscribe, because I might start doing more impromptu videos. Like, just full blown, let's talk about it. I ain't gonna lie. Some of y'all questions, I do be kind of ducking and dodging a little bit. I'm gonna tell the truth. Definitely duck and dodge. But we're gonna get more raw, more specific. I even had a comment on an old video that was like, yo, this didn't really say that. It didn't really give, what was toxic or whatever. True. So we're gonna redo that. Like, we're gonna make some changes. We're gonna make some changes because change is happening. I'm being pulled in certain directions. I'm being called to higher. And it's time to stop pretending like that's not the case. Bye.